right, everyone. Today is the last, I'm not signing anything new. Today's just another lab day to work on the assignment. Today's the 4th. Your assignment two is due this upcoming Monday, the 9th. Okay. So, hopefully at this point you're working on this. Today, Wednesday in class, you guys will have time to work on this in class and ask me questions and all that good stuff. Um, you know, this particular project, the small business nonprofit website, you guys are going to build a two-page website. It's very similar to the first assignment, just a little bit more sophisticated. You guys are going to, take advantage of, you know, excuse me, more advanced stuff, including CSS Grid, CSS Flexbox. Maybe you might use floats, positioning to, set up your website. Bibbidi bobbidi boom. So you guys are, you guys have done the pre-production at hopefully at this point. You guys are, using proper HTML and CSS syntax. As at this point, you guys should hopefully understand how to write that. If you have questions about how to write proper syntax, feel free to reach out to me. You should not be using any code that we haven't talked about. So like no use of JavaScript or anything like that. Um, you know, I would not be using any CSS concepts that we haven't talked about. So I don't want to necessarily see any use of like CSS, variables or functions or anything like that. If you do know how to use that kind of stuff and you want to use it, feel free to reach out and talk to me about that. But, this is something that I would want to talk with you about first. Um, so you guys are gonna submit this project this upcoming Monday by midnight. You should have a root folder. It should include all of the HTML and CSS and image and audio video files that are necessary. So make sure that all of that's together. And then you're going to upload your content to your server. This could mean your Infinity Free or your GitHub, whichever you decided to use as your um, hosting site. Okay. So what's going to happen is like, I'm just going to, let's say this is your website hosted on your server. I would ask that you take the web page, I'm going to copy this URL. And we are going to make a new document and paste this in. And then you could save this, and I'd ask you to put this into your root folder. And so when you upload the root folder, it also has the URL link that goes to your website. So that I have both the root folder that I can use when I grade and have the URL so that that I know that you know how to upload to a server, and B, so that we can share it with other people, share it with your students and things like that. Okay. All right, so if you're watching this video before 9 a.m., we will be today's class is really just lab time to go over things, and you're welcome to ask me questions and all that fun stuff. If you're watching this after, you should just be working on the assignment. If you have any questions, I'm going to have office hours on Friday, as I always do, um, 12 to 1 o'clock. And you can reach out to me if you have any questions. If this is at davidherwich@sfsu.edu. Okay.